Man, I tell you, there's nothing like a nice hot cup of coffee on a cold, cold morning. Gets them bones a working, gets the muscles woke up and said, hey man, let's get to work, let's do something. But there's somebody out there that just seen me take a sip of that coffee and they're thinking, that's full of pesticides, that's gonna kill you. I get this all the time. People will tell me, oh, you can't eat that, you can't drink that, that's bad for you. They're all over the internet. Somebody watches a video and all of a sudden that's in their mind and they're an expert on it now. Well, Ben Azadi says you can't eat that, that's bad for you. And this guy says you can't eat this, that's bad for you. I guess it depends on who's doing the studying and what they're selling. Now, I do like watching Ben Azadi, the Keto Camp, but what I've noticed with his channel, okay, you watch his channel, and he does have some good information, but he's always selling a product that he's talking about something bad. Like I was watching one about coffee with all the, pesticides sprayed on coffee, and maybe they do, but he tries to sell another brand of coffee right after he's telling you this. So it makes me wonder, is it really bad for me? Or does he just want to sell coffee? How much is he getting? You have to think about some of these things. A few years ago, about a year ago, my dad sent me an article that was on Yahoo News, and it was all about how the carnivore diet is killing people. And so I researched who wrote this. And it was one of those militant vegetarians that wrote it. Didn't have any facts to back up the story. Was just going to slam the carnivore lifestyle. You see these things all the time. And I'm going to talk about this. Now, if we live our life in bubble wrap, which is what a lot of people, they're telling you these things, but are they actually practicing what they preach, or did they just watch somebody's video and they figure they're going to chime in on your thing and tell you, well, that's bad for you? Now, I guess I look at things this way. I've made changes over the last 2 years that have made me more healthier, make me feel better than I've felt in a long time, if not my entire adult life, because all my adult life I've drank alcohol, I consumed tobacco, I've done all these things. I've made unhealthy choices with my food my entire adult life, and now that I've changed this, I feel wonderful. And to hear somebody say, well, that's going to kill you. Let me tell you something. What was going to kill me is if I would have continued to drink the alcohol, if I would have continued to smoke the cigarettes, and if I would have continued to eat frozen pizzas. And so when somebody does something to improve their life, to get healthier, there's no reason to tell them that drinking out of a bottled water is going to kill them. Do you think they're worried about it? I'm not. You have to die of something someday, right? A lot of people that are making these comments, they may be sitting in New York City breathing in polluted air. We don't know what their situation is. And I will guarantee you, if I went into their home within 30 seconds, I would probably find something that has been said is dangerous that they were not aware of. The point is, we can't nitpick everything, okay? Yes, maybe they spray stuff on coffee. Maybe they do. But you know what? I've been drinking coffee since I was 16 years old, and it hasn't killed me yet. There's things we've all put in our bodies all our lives that probably isn't the best thing for it. What are we supposed to do? Move to Tibet? Put on a monk robe and live like a monk and just drink purified boiled water and, I don't know, eat golden eggs from the golden chickens? You can't live like that. No matter what you do, you're going to get some kind of contamination in your body, but Your body is a machine. Your body is made to filter these things out. And it cannot do that if you are living unhealthy, if you're consuming alcohol, if you're eating all the wrong foods. Your body's too busy doing all them things to get rid of that stuff, to filter out some of these things. So yes, maybe these things are dangerous, but your body is made to kick these things out. And I'm not going to spend my entire life worrying about it, about bottled water, yes, don't put bottled water in your hot vehicle for a week and drink it like I took a sip of the other day. That was nasty. You can tell immediately that's not good for you. But my body probably took over and said, hey, Mac, hey, Bill, hey, Gene, come on over here. We got work to do. And they went to work on that drop of water that I put down, that I didn't spit back in the thing and toss in the back of the truck. And it fixed it. We cannot micromanage our bodies to the extent that you're living a life that's not enjoyable. We do enjoy certain things in our life. We like a taste of chocolate now and then. But if you're living an overall healthy lifestyle, you're eating the right foods, you're not putting any drugs or alcohol in your body, well, your body's going to be able to handle filtering these things out. Do you not think God didn't have that planned when he made us, that they're going to put stupid things in their mouth? And, we're going to have to put a fix in there for that. A dog can go drink out of the nastiest water and they do not get sick, because God knew that's what they would be doing. Wild animals can drink just about out of anywhere that isn't polluted by human beings, and they're fine, because their systems are built for that. Their systems are built to handle those kind of things. And so are humans. And I think you need some pollutants in your body every now and then. It's just, a lot of people that are sick all the time, they're OCD with germs and things like that. You have to allow some germs into your body so you can build up resistance to these things. Those are usually the people that have been sick. I have not been sick since the day I was 19 years old. Not once. I haven't had the flu. Maybe a couple of minor snivelly colds, but nothing that has kept me down since I was 19 years old. And I led an unhealthy lifestyle, okay? I never had to go to the doctor for any kind of a sickness. The only times I ever went to a doctor before the last 10 years was if I broke a bone or anything. That was it. Never got sick. I don't know why, maybe, and I don't even have a spleen, so I should be getting sick often, but I don't. So to tell me or anyone else they're doing something wrong, well, if I'm doing something wrong, I don't want to start doing something right, according to you, because then I might get sick. It's just, some people just get too carried away with, oh, this is bad for you and that's bad for you, but you're only reading one study a lot of the time, okay? It depends on who made the study. You're going to find a lot of things they're saying are bad for you are studies that were made by companies that are selling some sort of a product that are in competition, or they would do better in their finances would be much better if this product wasn't around. So those are the studies you're seeing. Look at the food pyramid. What a bunch of BS that is. Okay, those were created. Yeah, those were created because they want you to eat a certain way so that you can have all these certain drugs that you can take. They want to sell some food. They want to sell grain. They want to sell rice. These things are created by companies, and they are adopted. And once they're out there so long, well, people start believing in them. So I'm going to continue to drink my coffee. Yes, there are always side effects to everything that you put in your body, but some you just have to accept. If you want some sort of enjoyment in your life, I'm not giving up coffee. I've given up just about everything else, but I'm not giving up my coffee in the morning. I have 2 cups, maybe 3. And whatever it does, it does. And I've been doing this 45, 50 years. Well, 45 years I've been putting coffee in my body. And I've not once yet woke up and been sick over it. And at, almost 60 years old, something is going to take me one day anyway, okay? You're not going to prevent. Some people feel that by doing these things, not drinking the bottled water, not doing this, not doing that, they're going to live to be 102. Most of the time, these type people, they're not going to live as long as the normal person. But it is good to be aware of what you're consuming and where it was made, okay? We have processes in place. Any kind of food prep in our country doesn't mean that it's right, because they're also allowing these companies to put in products that are bad for us. I just saw, I think this was on Fox News yesterday, an article that a new study shows vegetable oil, seed oils, may not be as bad as first thought. They're trying to make seed oils, vegetable oils sound healthy. Why is that? And I don't know why it was on Fox News, but why is that? Somebody's paying somebody something to put that study out. And who did they study? I don't believe that for 1 minute, that vegetable oil is good for you. And yeah, I couldn't believe what I was seeing on there, and it's probably still on there on Fox News. I'll see if I can find the article later and put it on Dogman or something. But yeah, apparently vegetable oils are good for you now. They're not as unhealthy. They're probably doing these tests on people that are obese already, unhealthy already, and so they got so much crap in their body, how are they gonna know what the seed oils are doing? Because, I don't know. But for the people that are just trying to get healthy, better themselves, lose weight, man, whatever you got to do, do it. Don't worry about some of these things. That just about every food we have goes through a process with some sort of chemical. And if you nitpick everything, where are you going to be? At least with carnivore meats, yes, they put additives and stuff in meats for preservatives, for coloring, but most of it isn't that dangerous, okay? It hasn't killed me in all these years, and I've worked some pretty nasty jobs with cultured marble, spraying gel coat. I've done some pretty nasty things working in the newspaper industry with all the paper dust, and I've survived all that. So the least of my worries is going to be a little preservative or something in some meat. And yes, there are better cuts of meat than what you would get in a grocery store. But if you watch, Dr. Kim Berry says the grocery store meat is perfectly fine if that's what you want to buy. You're going to get it cheaper. I went to Big 10, what is that, Box 10, whatever it was the other day, and I got a big tube of ground beef for a whole lot cheaper than at Aldi's. And one of the first comments, there's plastics in that meat, in those tube meats. Whatever. I ate some yesterday. I didn't have any troubles. Everybody has plastics in their body. Plastics is in everything we do. It's in your water. It's in everything. As I said, your body has ways to get rid of that if you keep your life somewhat healthy. So we're not going to live in a plastic bubble. I'm not going to live in a plastic bubble. I'm not going to worry about half these things. Am I going to go out and buy processed foods? No, those are bad for you. The little cheese pouch in Kraft macaroni and cheese, trust me, you don't want to eat that. The little pouch in ramen noodles, you don't want to eat that stuff. If you're going to make ramen noodles, throw that little pouch out. That is horrible stuff in there. And people consume that every day. There's people that live off that stuff. And I do read labels, okay? I'm looking for certain things. I'm looking for carbs. I'm looking for sugars. I'm looking for things I can't pronounce. Those are usually the bad things. and I won't eat those things. But if, you know, even if you're living vegetarian and you're eating fruit, that is way better than any of those processed foods. So think about that for a while. If you're one of them that is going to get in the comments, you can say anything you want, but I am reading that with a grain of salt because, hey, I have done something in the last couple of years that makes me feel great. And I'm not going to worry about the small stuff. Okay, I'm still buying time getting healthy. I don't know how much time. I may only have had 10 years either way. I could have never lost weight and kept drinking, and probably, you know, my death date may be the same no matter what the outcome. But I feel better, and I'm able to do things more, and life's great, man. And I'm not going to worry about the small things. So we shouldn't micromanage every single thing we eat. Obviously, if you're eating pretty much anything inside the grocery store on the shelves, you better read the labels really good. But other than that, you know, get on with your lives and quit worrying and quit watching some of these channels. And when you see some things like that and they immediately afterwards tell you, but you can buy this product, he is bad for that. I will say, I do like that guy's channel, but he's very bad for that. And I as soon as I see that, I click off, because it just, everything he just told me went downhill, because now he's trying to sell me a product that supposedly doesn't have these issues. You will never see that on my channel, me trying to give a bunch of BS about a product or anything and then sell it. I'm not going to do that. That irritates me when channels do that. I don't even want to do any product. I got one more product to review to do on an e-bike, and that's probably going to be it for me, unless it's something I really, really like that I think would help people. I'm not doing anymore, because I hate watching videos that are full of advertisements. You're already watching commercials. I just don't want to do that. I think my channel can do better without any of that stuff. You would not believe how many of those I get in the email offers to do product reviews, and I just delete them. Even, I mean, nice stuff, good stuff I could probably use, but I don't want to ruin my channel with that stuff. I don't want to become, you know, you don't know who's real anymore, because they'll tell you something and then they want to sell you something that they're going to make money from, and that's wrong. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.